Hey, what's up, YouTube? CoolStoryBrobat here, bringing you Narrated Showdown battle number 113. And this battle was actually not on the UU ladder. This battle I had about a week ago on April 1st, April Fool's Day. And this is against baenail, or as his main account says, Hairy Toenail. And Hairy Toenail, we're actually teammates for the UU Premier League that's going on. It's like week 3 and I haven't even gotten the game yet. I'm just a $3,000 bench warmer, but it's cool. It's whatever, I'm just happy to be here. But anyway, this battle was also for the UU Room Staff versus Non-Staff Tour. If you weren't sure what that is, it's kind of self-explanatory. Basically, the UU Room Staff who sign up have to fight all the UU Room Non-Staff who sign up. And they're just going to keep going until one side is left. Until either all the staff members are eliminated or all the non-staff people are eliminated. And, well, it just so happens that I, the owner of the UU room, get paired up against baenail. And I didn't know what the heck team I wanted to bring for this, so I honestly just went with the Exeggucutioner. I brought the Exeggucutioner out. And, if you're not familiar with my team, it's like the most boring UU team ever with an Exeggutor on it. Like, Max Speed, Mega Aerodactyl, Swords Dance, Doublade, Calm Mind, Rest, Roar, Suicune. It's actually a pretty cool set. It's mainly because stuff like Cresselia and Reuniclus can kind of give me some problems. So just to, and Curslax also, kinda. Bulky Sweepers give me problems. So this allows me to mess with them a bit. Shuffle them around. Dreadplate, Crocodile. Well, no. Black Glasses, Crocodile. Black Glasses is way better than Dreadplate, period. With Stealth Rock. And Defensive Florges. Basically the most boring UU team ever with a tree. baenail's team looks pretty freaking scary. He's got what looks like, I'm assuming it's his spec Chandelure, because really the only other sets you see on Chandelure is Scarf, but he has a Hydreigon, so he doesn't really need Scarf Chandelure. Scarf Hydreigon's ultimately better. And Sub-CM Chandelure, which is a stall breaker, but he has Calm Mind Reuniclus, which is also a stall breaker. So reasonably, this would be a spec Chandelure. Scarf Hydreigon, like I said, it looks most likely to be Scarf. Defensive Tentacruel, standard. Mega Aerodactyl, standard. Probably has Stealth Rock. He has a Crocodile. When I see Crocodile, I always assume it's like Black Glasses or Dreadplate, but as this battle goes on, I think it was actually Choice Banded Crocodile he has, because he's never switched moves and he's always hard switched it out. So that's kind of what leads me to assume it is Choice Band. And Calm Mind Reuniclus, like I said. Pretty scary looking team. This is about as good as it's going to get. So when I actually saw his team, I got kind of nervous, but I'm like, I got to do it. I got to do it. So will the owner of UU manage to pull through, or will the Exeggucutioner be the one who gets executed? Let's find out. So I lead off with my Crocodile. He leads off with his Hydreigon. The U-turn is fairly obvious, but I don't want to screw up on turn 1, so I just make the safe play. I switch into my Florges on the Hydreigon. He goes to the Tentacruel. Of course, like I said, it was the overly safe play. I go to my Crocodile again, and he sets up a layer of Toxic Spikes, which, okay, cool, I can deal with this. I go for Knockoff because it's also the safe play, because he has Hydreigon and Aerodactyl switching to Earthquake, but he actually stays in and punishes me by going for Scald and does achieve a burn on it. So I know that my Crocodile is going to be dead and he's probably going to switch out, so I just set up my Stealth Rock here. I go to my Doublade. He Mega Evolves his Aerodactyl, goes for Aerial Ace here. Doublade is going to go for Sacred Sword. I predict him to send in his own Crocodile, and it does a nice amount of damage, really. I could kill him again if I predict him, but I decided to switch out. Hope he doesn't go for Pursuit. He doesn't. Sack my own Crocodile to get the Intimidate off on his. I'm going to go to my own Aerodactyl. This is going to allow me to use Defog safely. It's kind of dumb that I defogged after setting up my Stealth Rock. Well, I'm going to Aqua Tail first, in effort to kill his Crocodile. He goes to his Reuniclus, but now I use this as a chance to defog. Like I said, it's kind of dumb that I use defog after I just set up my rocks, but really, I need Toxic Spikes going to use Exeggutor to his full potential. So he recovered, predicting my Aerodactyl to attack his Reuniclus. I just defogged. He sends in his Crocodile. I send in my Exeggutor. I predict him to use Pursuit. Something told me he was going to use Pursuit here because I'm a Psychic type. Don't want to stand on that crap. So after I set up a substitute, he switches out and goes to his Hydreigon, and then uses a U-turn to break my substitute. Goes to his Aerodactyl. I'm behind the substitute. I get a +2 defense and a +2 special attack from my Starf Berry thanks to Harvest. Giga Drain, not enough juice to kill him. He's freaking out. if I had max HP, I could actually live in an aerial ace and just continue, and I could have set up a substitute there and just banked on the fact that he didn't know my EV spread, but he made the safe play by switching out, and I unfortunately made the safe play by switching out instead of trying to bluff him. But ultimately, I did preserve my Exeggutor. I predicted him to set up a toxic spike with his Tentacruel, so I switched it in directly on that. I substituted, he switches out to his Hydreigon, get a special attack boost, and get a speed boost. You know what's about to happen. You know what's going down. He U-turns on me, and I go for a Sleep Powder, and I freaking missed this Aerodactyl switching in. Get a +2 defense boost. He still outruns me. So he kills off the Exeggucutioner. I go for a Swords Dance as he switches out his Aerodactyl, predicting him to go to Tentacruel because Shadow Sneak kills Tentacruel +2. He sends in his Hydreigon, I would draw, go to my floor, just kinda hate being poisoned, but I don't really have much of a choice. Take the Dark Pulse to the face, thankfully he didn't U-turn. He sends in his Chandelure, I predicted it, I double switch to my Aerodactyl, and I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail here, bop it, Chandelure, knock that thing dead. Doesn't have a chance to really show me if it was Specs or not, but I assume it was. I know this Scarf Hydreigon can 3-hit KO Aerodactyl with Dark Pulse, so I'm hoping I don't flinch here. I go for Aerial Ace, and I don't think the critical hit mattered. I think it was still a 2-hit KO, which is why I went for it, and so I managed to kill off his Hydreigon. He sends in his Reuniclus, goes for a Side Shock on my Suicune as I send it in. I set up a Calm Mind, he's going to set up his own Calm Mind, and I anticipate these antics, but like I said, I am Calm Mind Roar Suicune, so you know, it's all good. He Side Shocks me again. I know I'm not going to be able to sponge much more if I stay in, so I decided to use Roar, and I'm hoping he goes to Aerodactyl, but it brings in Crocodile instead. That's kind of frustrating, but he withdraws it and goes to his Reuniclus. I think he expected me to want to switch out so I don't have to sack Suicune, but I actually end up making a risky play myself by staying in to go for rest. So it was sort of a choke on his part to a degree, but hey, look, let's just keep going. So he stays in with Croak, knocks off, and knock off would actually have like probably killed my Suicune from that range if he stayed in with it. But now I wake up, I start spamming Calm Mind, he uses Side Shock with Reuniclus. It's not gonna be enough to really break me, of course, and I get a Scald critical hit. I don't think it mattered because I'm at like freaking +3. He's unboosted and physically defensive at that, so I really think that crit didn't matter. So I kill him with Scald. My Suicune is too weak to really do much from here on, so he knocks off, kills my Suicune off. I go to my Mega Aerodactyl, miss the Aqua Tail. Just go in just to miss. You the real MVP. You the real MVP Aerodactyl. You always letting me down when I need you not to. But anyway, I send in my floor, just take the knockoff. I think like the fact he didn't go for Earthquake was what told me that he must have been Choice Banded, because I wasn't really checking the damage output of his Crocodile. It didn't matter to me anyway because I would have lived in Earthquake. You know, the floor just runs defense. So he sends in his Aerodactyl because he has nothing else left. Moonblasted, he's just gonna keep spamming Roost. It's not gonna do much. I don't want him to start Hone Clawsing on me, so I decided I'm just gonna switch to my Doublade, go for the Gyro Ball, kill off his Aerodactyl, and that's it. Good game, baenail. Very good game, in fact. That had me on the edge of my seat. This battle made me change my Exeggutor's EV spread because I had enough speed on it just to outrun uninvested base 65s, you know, like Vaporeon and whatnot. But then, you know, and I didn't really think about it getting speed boosts and what it could and not outspeed. But after that, I decided to change it to like 216 speed timid Exeggutor. A little bit weaker, but the stat boosts from the Starfberry will compensate for it, and now with this EV spread, my Exeggutor can outrun Jolly Max Speed Mega Aerodactyl, meaning if this matchup were to happen again with the spread I'm currently using, I would have had a much stronger chance to win than what I did. So it's kind of unfortunate. At least there wasn't any major instances of hacks this game, like that would have been game changing. But yeah, that play where he switched Crocodile out of Suicune, I think that was a choke, and I think he did admit that it was a choke because that was like my only way to really deal with Reuniclus. Like, I mean, I had Doublade, but at the same time, if he's calling my Reuniclus, most of them do run Shadow Ball. At least some of them do. Like, he could have just had Shadow Ball, and I would have killed my Doublade. So if he did run that, then I really would have just lost to Reuniclus by that point after Suicune was dead. But that's how things turned out. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite, and hopefully the Exeggucutioner does get to behead its next opponents, because there's nothing funnier than being chopped down by a giant walking tree. Anyway, peace.